Hey, this is Chris Connors. It's Black History Month, and we are here with the one and only Miss Ovetta Glover.
Thank you, Chris.
You know, we're talking to trailblazers and history makers in the state of South Carolina, and we had to get you in here to tell your story today, so we're honored to have you here.
And I'm honored to be here to tell it.
Wonderful. So, for people who are just seeing you, meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am Ovetta Glover, as mentioned, and I am the president of the Columbia branch NAACP at this point.
Keep going. You know
Okay,
so much more than that.
Yes, I am also the president of Funds Incorporated. We just had the large Black History Parade and Festival that's held every year, first Saturday in February. And I am also the director of residential life at Allen University.
Wonderful. See, I wanted everybody to know you're a heavyweight.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on for
Yeah,
sure.
I do.
But the real reason I wanted to talk to you today during Black History Month was kind of to tell you a story about how you helped to integrate the schools here in South Carolina. It's an amazing story. If you could just take us back to 1960?
61, yes.
All white schools all over the state of South Carolina, and there was a white school, I guess, across the street from where you guys lived, and they had a playground and a school, and you wanted to be a part of that. How did this whole thing transpire?
Well, it transpired because of the playground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually wanting to go in. I'm speaking as my father and I, my family and I. And Dad would always say, one day you'll be able to do that. Well, in 1961, we attempted to go to the school that was right across the street called Julian Mitchell.
Okay.
During that time, you had to get a release from one school to go to another.
Right.
So I was being released from A.B. Rhett to go to Julian Mitchell. But when we got there, because of a technicality, we were not able to go there. And it was only because the name was left off of the letter, Chris, which when I look up and see the devastation that was on my father's because we made an attempt and was not successful, that kind of devastated me as well.
So you didn't not get into the school because you were black. You got in because really of a technicality, some paperwork.
Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
you ended up having to go back to the school that you came from for another year.
Yes.
But you guys weren't done. You tried again.
We tried again in 1963.
Okay.
And that's when 11 of us attempted the elementary, junior high, and high schools in the city of Charleston County, yes. And we were successful at that time. And then the domino effect came throughout the state to the other cities.
But Charleston was first to integrate?
Charleston was the catalyst for the integration of the schools.
That's amazing. You would think maybe it'd be Columbia, but Columbia was
being the capital,
one of the last, right?
Not quite the last, but to completely integrate, Columbia really didn't finish integration until in the late 70s, the early 70s, I'm sorry.
Amazing.
Yeah, which was very amazing. And we moved from Charleston to here, and moving back here, I had to go back to a black school.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that was in 65. Columbia, if I'm correct, only integrated one school, and Emily Newman was the person that integrated the school during 1964. So with that being said, I had to rethink my whole thought process. And I was picked at going to the school, but again, I still have friends that used to pick at me. We're still friends to this day.
So take us back then, a group of 11 kids attempting to integrate an all-white school. How were you treated by the other students, by the teachers? How were you received?
Well, the reception was fake. That's what I call it. Because of the media and that kind of stuff, they had to act a certain way. But when I set foot in the classroom that I was in.
Put foot. I thought it was getting ready to be another story. Okay. When you set foot in the classroom, I got you.
The teacher, the introduction was, your seat is back there in the back.
Okay.
Which my parents kind of drilled me a little bit on how to receive that kind of action. Because I was always a front stoop child.
Okay.
So with that drilling, having gone back to be seated back there, I did gain a friend. And to tell you the truth, Chris, I'm going to call her Kathy, because that's what I've been calling her all that long, and that's not her name, really. But she and I reconnected a couple of years ago. We had been discussing during that time, and she was hurt because she could not play with me during the recess, or we could not play together, etc.
So even when you were at the school, it was segregated in there. You had to play. You couldn't
alone. I played alone. It was three of us that went to this particular school, and neither one of us, we had separate recess times. separate areas of the recess
So
yard.
you had to play alone.
And I played alone, and Kathy would try to play, and she'd get picked out, so, pick that, and that just withdrew her as well.
And racism, I think it's a learned behavior. It's taught by parents to their kids. So, and I thought about this. I said there had to be some kids in there that just, they would play with anybody. And I guess Kathy was one of those.
Kathy was one of them, but of course children mimic because they started calling her Lover.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. And as she recalled it to me, I started remembering, that did happen, but I typically blocked that arena out of my mind because of all of the nastiness. Picking up the telephone and, hey, little N girl, we're going to kill your daddy. Hey, little N girl, because mother was able to work in the public school system.
Mm-hmm.
Mother had to leave because of the time that dad was involved so much in the integration. Imagine a 6-year-old not having their mother around. It came to my father, baby brushing your hair and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he actually took the lead, played both roles at one time.
And I can see just in having conversations with you, you've always been on the front line. Your father was a past president, I think, of the NAACP as well.
Yeah, for both Columbia and Charleston.
And then your mother's father
was the actual first president, state president. That was in 1939. And Dad was also the longest serving pastor for Mother Emanuel. I grew up in Mother Emanuel.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm proud of that as well.
No,
but
you should be.
It's in my DNA. I kind of spanked myself because it's taken so long to rise, even though I have been doing other things to help people and make people realize what their lives should be, especially the youth, because I'm dealing with working in the college sector and have been for the past 30 years. But I tried to instill in them history does repeat itself. And Chris, it's starting to repeat itself. It's already going there because we are coming up with schools that are all black with the white teachers in it, vice versa. So
do you think that's a bad thing, though? It looks like you're right. We're going back to what you guys fought for back in the 60s. Is that a bad thing?
In my sight, yes, it is bad.
Okay.
Because to have gone through the mental anguish that I have, and those folks that were back there, the powers to be that have, fought to make this happen, so that you will have what you need to have, which they have, and then we having the youth come up and not realizing what we have actually done. And I kind of fault us to those of us that moved through because we stopped teaching it.
Yeah.
We stopped telling it. That's why it's so important to tell your stories, whatever it is it may be. So
that's why I think it's so important now that you're the president of the Columbia chapter of the NAACP, so you can make sure that story gets out there. You can keep that story out there on the front lines. I think it's definitely important. Now, for people, what do you want people to know about the NAACP right now?
I want people to know that the NAACP is for everyone. No specific, we see no color. Even though it says National Association for the Advancement of Colored People,
we see no color.
We see no color.
Okay.
And that being said, that white is a color, brown is a color, purple, green, whatever color you are identified with, you're colored. And we want to help. It's all about helping the people.
I got you.
The people.
I know you guys.
And I want to say this.
Okay.
The NAACP was started by Caucasians.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where people of color, they saw the need to help people of color. And we can't not mention that because that is a very important statement to be heard.
Okay, and I know that the Columbia chapter of the NAACP, your website is under construction.
Yes.
It's coming soon.
Yes.
But if people want to find out more information, how to join one of your meetings, is there a number that they can call?
They can call my number. I will answer 803-361-5470, 803-361-5470, and I am Ovetta Glover.
You can call the president.
The president.
The president is giving you her number. See,
Yes.
that's why this lady is where she should be right now.
Yeah,
President of the Columbia chapter of the NAACP. She's been on the front lines.
6 years old.
Yeah, for a very long time and still fighting even today. Thank you for sitting down with us during Black History Month. We really appreciate your time. Give me your number one more time.
803-361-5470.
Ovetta Glover.
Ovetta Glover.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.